This is our group, minus a couple of people who aren't with us yet. We'll see if they're going to be in the class or not. But this is the largest cohort of 216 students that I've had so far, so I'm really excited that you guys are here. I'm Desiree Pointer-Mace. I'm an assistant professor here and the associate dean for graduate programs also. I'm a big honking nerd, which is a point of pride for me. As I was joking about with Kathy, my colleague, I play tech support for my entire family. But you becoming a big honking nerd is not one of the outcomes of this class, so fear not. But it's an interesting class in that, unlike almost any of the other classes that you're taking to become teachers here, come in, be not afraid. Hi. What's your name?
That was the cutest thing ever.
Wait, who are you?
Kelly Rooney.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Okay, let's see, let me mark you here. Okay, so unlike every single other class that you take here, the things you might learn in this class, like smartboard, like digital audio recorders, like iPhones, might be completely obsolete by the time you have teaching jobs. Okay? It's just the way things go. Technological revolutions are occurring so fast that you learning smartboard, awesome, great, fabulous. They might be extinct in 2 years. All right? They might have gone under, they might have gone bankrupt. So you learning smartboard is not an outcome of this class. You becoming fearless about technology is. You becoming a good problem solver about technology is. All of these things are things that I'm going to emphasize. And the tools are part of that, but the tools are not the point. And that's true, I think, of my philosophy of education with technology in general. The tools are not the destination. This is not like, oh, I'm going to do this cool math lesson with the smartboard because the smartboard is the point of this math lesson. No. The point of any math lesson is to what? Learn math. Thank you! Exactly. Okay, so if kids have been learning math for a long time before smartboards were invented, right? So the point is that smartboards might be a fabulous tool to learn particular techniques with math. But if you're teaching the worst lesson in the world with a smartboard, it's not going to make you a good teacher. So what I want us to think about is how the people in this class, all of you came here if you're maybe tired, not so excited. We've got a couple of tired, we've got some injury, we've got some excitement about the Packers. You are all complicated people with your own lives. One of the things that's not up there yet is you've probably all got really different sets of expertise around technology. You've got different access to tools at home, maybe at work, maybe as part of your other classes here. And all of that is part of the resources that we have in this class, because our social network is part of how we learn in this class. All right? So, and I also like to start with Facebook because, with a couple of exceptions, it's something that a lot of you do anyway on a daily basis. All right? So I want you to think about, like, how can you use these things for when you're checking in about being tired or telling people what you had for dinner or whatever, that you can actually bend that to becoming a really excellent teacher. Because that's what this class is about for me. It's about you guys going out there and being good enough to teach my 6-year-old and my 4-year-old. That's what's in it for me. It's really selfish. I want you to be the best teachers ever for Simone and Miles. And Miles, who's 4, when I was leaving this morning, he said, "Mama, you don't have a snow day?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And he said, "Well, make sure to listen to the teacher." And I was like, "I am the teacher." And he was like, "You are?" It's very funny to him somehow. So anyway, I promise to listen to you as my teachers if you listen to me. So, but I think that just to give you a little bit of background on myself, I started my own teaching career in Oakland, California, which is a big, high-poverty, complicated school district. Different from MPS, but similar in a lot of ways. So the commitments that a lot of people have to education being a thing that can really change people's lives is something that I started my career with, and I hope will be true of you as well. And then I went and I got my doctorate at the University of California at Berkeley, and I worked for a long time. If any of you have taken a sneak peek at the book, I worked for a long time at the Carnegie Foundation for the Advancement of Teaching, and what I did there is I worked with some of the best teachers ever to say, what is it that you're doing in your classroom? Because a lot of times when teachers close their doors, your pre-service teacher education is the best chance you will ever have to see people teach. Because then, unfortunately, a lot of people go into their teaching profession, close their door, and like never learn from another adult for the rest of their lives. I don't want you to be like that, because that is lonely, it contributes to burnout, it makes you really boring, and I don't want you to be that kind of teacher. So my idea is that another outcome here is that you become a connected teacher, and whether that's connected to the people in this class through real world, real life relationships, which surprisingly I do think are actually really important, or through connections that you make to other people around the world who might inspire your teaching. That's a really important part of committing to a profession that has an alarmingly high rate of burnout. 50% of new teachers leave the profession in the first 5 years. Right? Alverno's track record is somewhat better. We're more like 85. And that's not too bad considering that a lot of people enter teaching in their 20s as women and then, stop out for a number of reasons, family, whatever. But that I want you to not be driven from the profession. So, one of the things that I want to just open with, and I want to introduce actually my colleague Kathy Pinkowski. She's also a big honking nerd. But see how cool she looks? She's very cool looking. And Kathy is one of our big technology leaders here on campus. And she has actually been responsible for delivering you from the evil of educator. All right, so thank you, Kathy Pinkowski. Because I don't know about you, but I kind of hate educator. This is what it looks like if you've never seen it before, right? It's just incredibly terrible, and if you want to link to anything, it takes 25 clicks from the main page. Yeah. All right? So what we are moving to as an institution starting next fall, but you guys actually, because you are in here with me, are part of the pilot study that is going to be using Moodle starting this semester. So this is our educator course management system for this course. Those of you who checked your email earlier might have seen that I posted the link to it. Kathy actually clarified for me that instead of logging in with your network ID, you log in with the network ID and then your first password is just Alverno, and then it'll prompt you to change it.
All lowercase.
All lowercase. But the idea here, the reason why I am in love with Moodle, and I've been bragging all about it, it's actually really funny because I have a lot of faculty colleagues who are on Facebook, and I was saying, like, my Moodle is so sweet, it is so cool looking. And Mimi Charnick, do any of you know Mimi, who's in English? Yeah. Okay, so Mimi was like, no way, mine is so cool. And I was like, no way, mine brings all the boys to the yard. and she's like, no, mine flies like a G6, and we're dropping all these incredibly outdated references for old fogies to be dropping. Fun nonetheless. But I want to talk to you about really why you're in this class. You're in this class because I think it's important for teachers to have a role of being a really engaged, creative practitioner. And so this book I'd like to read